Here are 8 skills that you can build now that will help you when you move to your homestead acreage. First off is cooking. It's important, as you can imagine, if you're going to be living and producing your own vegetables and possibly even your own livestock. Cooking is extremely important, and cooking healthy. You can learn all your cooking skills and come up with some fantastic recipes that are very simple and yet very healthy. If you're the mom and you need to, or the wife, and you need to cook dinner every night, then it's important to have cooking skills and also to teach your children to cook and help them develop an appreciation for the foods that you're going to be growing on your homestead. Which comes to number 2, and that is growing vegetables. It's very important, obviously, on a homestead, you're going to want to be growing your own vegetables. And whether it's an urban homestead or whether it's a huge country estate, you're going to want to be growing vegetables and fruits and berries and other crops. So it's important for you to learn how to do that, and you can learn to do that even if you're just in a little suburb house, or if you're in an apartment, you can learn to grow. There's co-ops where you can go and have a little space to grow your gardens. Maybe you have room to do a couple of raised beds or even some pots on your balcony. Learn how to grow vegetables. Learn whether you want to use seeds or whether you want to buy starts, which works best for you. I'll have another video on that later. You could work in community gardens that donate their produce to food banks and things like that. And that's another great opportunity to learn to grow. Just talk to your neighbors and see who has gardens and ask if you could help them to take care of their veggies is another way to learn as well. And then the third thing is harvesting and preserving. So harvesting, how to properly harvest is important. How, when, how do you tell if a fruit is ripe? How do you tell if the potatoes are ready to go? How do you tell if a tomato is just at the perfect stage to pick off? Those are all harvesting tips that you can learn, and that will come in very handy in the future. So now you move on to the preserving of different vegetables and fruit. For example, you may want to do canning, but what is canning? I mean, there's pressure canning, there's water bath canning. What about maybe you'd want to dehydrate some vegetables or fruit, or perhaps you want to mess around with fermenting, or you want to just simply freeze stuff or have a cold cellar. There's a lot of different preservation methods when it comes to veggies and fruit. So that's something you can definitely practice on. You can get a pressure cooker, have someone teach you to use it. Pressure cookers have been used for a long time, and you just need to be careful with them and learn how to use them. And pressure cooking is great. Water bath canning, you can use that for like jams and jellies and I believe most fruits. Also, you have other methods. Fermenting is a really popular method. The fermented food is just incredibly good for your stomach and your gut. And then also there's other different methods. Like I said, there's like cold storage or freezing. Like for example, we take our carrots and our onions and we actually slice them up and put them in a bag together. We have instant hash browns. So we actually freeze a lot of our potatoes. And then of course you can also figure out a cold storage for them where you can just keep them cold. But even if you're not growing anything, you can buy stuff and preserve it, and buy a box of peaches and start with that and learn to put those up, and then buy some green beans from a local farmer and learn to can those. Those are all great things you can do. Get foods in bulk that are cheaper and preserve them yourself. Those are some great skills to learn, the harvesting and preserving. Another one might be animal care. Like if you're planning on having animals on your homestead, then it's really important that you know as much as you can before you even move to your homestead. So maybe you have a friend with chickens who can kind of help you learn the process from the time they hatch to the time they're laying eggs, and maybe even harvesting the chickens for meat. You may have someone that owns goats that you can go and get lessons from them on how to milk the goats and how to care for the goats and be involved with those animals so you can kind of see how things go on a daily basis with illness and food and water and all that other stuff. You can do a lot learning how to take care of animals, even if you don't necessarily have any. Number 5 is fixing things and DIY. It's time that you start fixing things yourself. That's an important part on homesteading. In fact, it's one of the hallmarks of someone who's doing homesteading is their ability to make do with what they have, to fix things and to figure things out. And this is a great time to start that. Time to start changing your own oil maybe in your car, or it's time to start doing minor repairs around your house that you'd normally have someone else do. It's time to start figuring out all the different repairs and maintenance your house needs. That way when you do move on to a homestead, you'll have some idea of what you're going to get into, and also volunteer to help people who have issues. And if you're able to physically go there and just help them do repairs and stuff, that's a great way to learn. Great learning experiences there. Number 6 is read and read some more. You can read a ton about homesteading. You probably already have if you're watching this video. You can watch tons of YouTube videos, but it's also very important to do the thing. And it's also very important to not, at the same time you want to be educated and you want to know how to do things, you also do not want to get stuck in analysis paralysis and you're not able to do anything. We had so many posts this year on growing potatoes, and people are arguing about growing potatoes, how to grow potatoes, what doesn't work with potatoes, what does work with growing potatoes. Let me tell you a secret. You take a potato, you put it in the window and let it get eyes on it, dig a hole and throw it in the ground, and you'll have potatoes. It's that simple. Doesn't mean you're not going to experiment and try other ways, and straw bales and putting it on the surface and covering it with straw. There's all kinds of different ways. Maybe you're putting it in a pot, maybe you're mounding dirt as it grows. There's 100 different ways to grow potatoes, but really none of them are wrong. Don't get confused about the details on how to do something. Just do it. Do the things. That's one of the things. Read, learn, and do the thing. Number 7 is it involves social media. If you're on social media, join the groups, join the homesteading groups, join the homeschool mom groups. If you're a homeschooler, join the different local groups. Local gardening groups are fantastic. Join those groups, start interacting, start becoming part of the community. That's really important. And when you start doing that, you'll start finding classes that you can take. And a lot of them won't interest you, but some of them are like exactly things that you don't know that you really want to know. So take those classes. Take those classes and learn those things, and then use them to go out and make mistakes. And that leads me to number 8, which is attitude and kind of developing your way of thinking about homestead. First off, you need to give up perfection. You need to give up perfection. You need to embrace mistake making. I always say, if you're failing right now and you can't make it, it's because you're not making enough mistakes. You got to keep going, and you got to make mistakes, and you got to correct them, and you go along. That's how it is. If you're not making mistakes, you're not trying hard enough. That's the fact. So it's very important that you give up perfection, know that you're going to make mistakes, and head into those mistakes and get through them as quickly as you can, because you always will. And be open to learning from people who've done it longer than you. Don't think because you saw something on YouTube that you know more than someone who's been doing it for 40 years. Take it all in, and then do your thing. Make your mistakes, and then learn from those mistakes. That's what I recommend. So there you go. You got cooking, growing vegetables, harvesting and preserving food, animal care, fixing things, DIY, read, join groups and take classes within the community, then your attitude and develop a way of thinking. A bonus is, when you do start learning things, it's very important for you to share with people and to help them along, especially if they're behind you and they're kind of maybe a few steps behind you. It's very important to help them along, as well as just help build the homesteading community. We need to help each other out. We all do things differently, and we all have different degrees of organicness that we do. And I think we all need to help each other out. We all need to learn from each other and lift each other up. So that's kind of the whole overall message with that. With the bonus is to share what you learn and just help the community out. Thank you for watching my video. I really appreciate it. I'm going to be doing a lot more videos on homesteading and homeschooling and things like that, things that are close to my heart. So thank you for joining me. Have a great day. Thanks again for watching. God bless you. I'll talk to you soon.